We are going to go live. And it looks like we're going. So, hey, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Brent, and welcome to Brent Investing. In this video, we're basically just going to go over the 1 week recap of M1 Finance. I haven't planned a whole lot at the moment. I've been kind of working a couple different projects at the moment, but I still wanted to get these live events kind of regularly sometime during the week where I can go over sort of a Q&A style video. So if anybody drops some comments either into the comment section down below this video or just here into the chat as we're going live, we can kind of hang out, answer that a bit. But we're going to go ahead and cover the market so far this week as far as the S&P, Nasdaq, the Dow Jones. We'll go ahead and cover my M1 Finance portfolio that we are currently logged into. Make sure that I'm logged into it real quick before I swap. 1 second. Yeah, I am logged into it. And I'm also trying to get a little bit more used to streaming or doing live events online. Because that's part of my other content that I'm kind of working on building up, my other project. So let's go ahead and get started here. If you guys are brand new here to the channel, definitely say hello in the chat or down in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe and also leave comments and all that fun stuff. Otherwise, the market lately has been on fire. Today alone, I don't know if these are accurate here, but the S&P 500, yeah, today alone, it was up 0.42% Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, last Friday. The market's been on fire here over the past 5 days and over the past 1 month. And I've been kind of just watching it right now. I actually had some calls, which we'll talk about here towards the end, that had been assigned out, and I really haven't been doing a whole lot more in the market as of that moment. So here, the 5-day change on the S&P 500 is up 1.82%, whereas the 1 month here is up a whopping 8.83%. Now, I've had a lot of friends come to me here recently and started talking to me about stocks, started buying it at this point. Now that they're seeing so much momentum here in the short term, they've got really interested in the stock market because I had been pointed it out here during this dip in late September, early October. It was a great time to buy. The market had moved down, I believe, around 4 to 6% range, and I started buying a bit at those lows, like the 430s, or for the S&P 500 SPY. I started buying SPY in those 430s, 420s, I believe, and then actually had some calls get assigned out as it was moving higher, and I really haven't bought into the market too much more beyond that, but just been kind of monitoring it here. But I've had a lot of friends discuss with me here recently as far as getting involved in the stock market, which has been pretty positive. The Dow Jones here up over the past 5 days, 1.10%. Thursday, what's its first, kind of red day here, which that was kind of interesting, but essentially not anything to be, what's it called? What's the word? Really sort of afraid of, because of how much the market has actually moved here over the past 1 month. The Dow Jones is up 6.24%. So I'm actually looking forward to a bit of a cool-off period here, where the market will stop sort of trending higher, maybe have a bit of a pullback, get some support, and either continue moving higher. I've been reading into a couple other interesting articles as far as accelerated buybacks going into the last quarter of 2021, just because it's cheaper money. If you can do buybacks on your stock right now, you can kind of save yourself a bit of money going into 2022, and the earnings per share will kind of get accelerated with less shares out on the market. So they're doing a lot of share buybacks right now in a lot of companies. But Nasdaq here, big up over the past 5 days, 3.19%. So the Nasdaq has definitely performed the best here, and it's almost essentially taking over the S&P 500, just slightly off. What is it? A little bit less than 1% there, it looks like, or a little bit more than 1%, but very close. And the Nasdaq has had a quick run up here recently in the last few weeks and months. Well, a month now. So there's been a lot of movement here in the market in just the last month. And I can see how a lot of investors are taking a look at this, and you may have some cash on the side, you may not have some cash on the side, and you're watching this every single day, every single week, just move higher and higher and higher. And actually, I posted this earlier today. Are you feeling the FOMO, the fear of missing out? I had a lot of, this is that time right now where a lot of investors that hadn't been invested are investing because they're just seeing all this green. And if you haven't been involved in the market up until this point, it can be pretty, weird feeling to just see how easy the market has been in these last few weeks. And actually over the past year, you can see here year to date, it's still massive up on just about any index that you're involved in. So jumping over into the M1 Finance portfolio, overall, this portfolio has been bouncing back. We've got a 75% return. So far, market gains are at 8,777. The earned dividends here are at 2,661. So dividends coming in are continuing to accelerate as we're continuing to buy back more shares, add more equity into this portfolio. We have $225 that we added last Friday that hasn't been invested. I just hadn't bought anything at this moment. And I've actually been doing a little bit of research as far as what stocks I should be buying. I've really haven't been kind of undecided as far as what stocks I want to buy. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm not really putting money into any one area at the moment. I'm just kind of set it off to the side and just kind of waiting, looking for opportunity right now, which I think a lot of other investors are also kind of doing along those lines. Our top three winners right now, Apple, number one, up 295%. Essentially, it's just money that was made with capital gains left in Apple, and then has just continued to grow there. Lowe's, number two, Main Street Capital, that BDC, number three. Our top three losers, this is kind of normal here. Clorox, the last place here. Hormel Foods, second to last, and Colgate. I had been buying up quite a bit of Hormel Foods here recently, but it has kind of came back up. I just haven't been wanting to buy more of it in this time frame. I've been kind of looking for other better opportunity. I also looked at Facebook, but it's not really a dividend related company. I just think long term with how they're kind of transitioning their company and getting more into, they're already in virtual reality VR, but they're branching it up in Facebook, the Google style. Instead of Facebook, it'll be called Meta, but they'll still have like the social media portion, they'll have the virtual reality portion, and they'll be segmented out. So I took a look at Facebook. I just haven't purchased any, but that is one that I'm kind of interested in, just not in this portfolio. It'll be added into potentially my Merrill Edge portfolio. Now, as far as the 1 week goes, I'm not sure how we compare to the indexes. I really haven't checked this out. So this is kind of like the first time I've really dug into my portfolio over these past few weeks, 2 weeks now. So S&P 500 up 1.82%, whereas our portfolio is up around 1.29%. The Dow Jones 1.10. So we're kind of sitting in between the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 performance. The Nasdaq, you can't really compare yourself to that because a lot of the tech companies that had been kind of simmering, or actually some of them have been downtrending for a bit. Now with the Fed beginning their slow transitory, what's it called? They're kind of stopped buying back. They're not buying back as many bonds, and they're continuing to use the what the word there. It's all sort of they're not going to be raising rates, so that helped a lot of the tech companies. That's what I kind of mean there. So Nasdaq continuing to push higher, and we can actually see which companies have been actually performing really well here recently. We can see Facebook over the past 1 week, it is up 5.97%, which is a huge move there for Facebook. Google 1.66, Microsoft 3.73. Now Nvidia right here, this one is up nearly 20% over a 5-day period. Qualcomm up 16.77, AMD another 13.49 on that one. We can see one of the only FANG or Mang stocks that are negative at the moment that I've been tracking has been Apple, which is down 1.05% over this past 1 week. If we take a look at the month here, we can see that there is quite a bit difference here. Microsoft blew it out of the water as far as Nvidia up 50%. I don't know if that was that's interesting. I'd have to take a look at why they're up 43% near there, almost 44%. Tesla as well, 57% over a 1 month period. I don't own any Tesla individually or Nvidia, so I have been seeing quite a bit of videos out there as far as Tesla videos go. I haven't seen many on Nvidia. Amazon up 6.59% there on the month. Google up 7.78. So Facebook here has just over this past 1 week has started to kind of pop up. We can see here 1 week Facebook is up 6%, whereas over the past 1 month it's only up 0.66%. So Facebook here in the short term could be beginning to turn around, and if this is something that you're interested in, this is why I've been kind of looking at Facebook right now. What if I just put a little bit in the Facebook? I think long term they're going to be turning their company around. There's still, there's that stigma. What's it called? The word there is, they're one of the more not. What's the word for it? Kind of like the stepchild of the FANG stocks. There's always something going on with Facebook, and they're always in the news there as far as privacy and other issues there. So we'll kind of see how this one kind of plays out. Microsoft there, we've already kind of discussed. Apple, 6.31 there on the month. So really, really great performance there out of the FANG stocks, as well as healthcare, consumer defense, and all around the board. We can see that some of the beaten down areas over the past 1 month are the credit services for Visa, MasterCard, PayPal. PayPal there, almost 13.6% there on the 1 month down. So kind of beat up here in the short term. Also AT&T, I don't know if anybody still owns that one. I know I sold out of that one the Monday that they announced. I forgot what the announcement was, but I remember I didn't even plan for it. I just kind of sold off AT&T. It was dead money in my portfolio for going on 3 years, and it just had to go. So I sold out of AT&T. That one's been dragging a lot of portfolios down if you're invested in that one. I know some dividend investors within the dividend community are still buying that one up. So that is the 1 month as far as our performance goes, and the 1 week as far as the performance goes. Dividends coming in, we have received a number of dividends. Cisco Corp, which is kind of food delivery here. And then we have Cisco Systems. We haven't been tracking our dividends here since our last live video. So over the past, the 27th. Also, happy belated Halloween to all those that celebrate Halloween. We had an excellent Halloween ourselves. Went out, got some candy. The kids were all dressed up. We were all dressed up as pirates. So I think I posted a picture on Instagram of that. So the 27th of October was last Wednesday. So yeah, we haven't tracked this along since last Wednesday. So 846 plus 282 plus 357 plus 664 and 304 is $24.53. So about $25 that we've made in dividends over the past, say, week now, because today's Thursday, as of last Wednesday. So this portfolio is slowly building up. We started this portfolio about 3.5 years ago now. And 3.5 years ago, every month we would generate right around $18 to $20 a month. Here we are 3.5 years later. This portfolio is generating roughly $20 to $25 every week. And then every month it generates about $100 in dividends. So it's just going to continue to compound gradually and be having those dividends reinvested, which will overall grow the portfolio, shares, and future dividend income. And then we made our deposit there of $201.42. So that kind of has that grand total there to invest of $225.95. So at this point, I don't think let's see, what did we buy last? We made our buy. I have an order fulfilled, but it doesn't tell me what was actually fulfilled there on the 20. Oh, right there, 2 buys. Okay, we bought Hormel Food and Colgate last time. So if I go to track my dividends, go to my M1 Finance portfolio, and we check out our Hormel Foods here, HRL, we own 36.09 shares, which that may not be correct now. So if we go to our holdings and Hormel, yeah, we own 41.72. So if you guys are interested in tracking your own dividends completely free, this is called trackyourdividends.com. You sign up for their services, just use it in an email. You can punch in your companies that you hold, how many shares, what your cost basis is, and then you can go ahead and track your dividend income completely for free. Go in here and update the shares that you own. So 41.72. 41.72. And come on. Cost basis 45.57. So our cost basis went down 45.05 now. So 45.05. So if I look right here, the dividend income, let's see if I can see this here. Annual income for Hormel Foods is currently sitting at 35.37. When I hit update, so 35.37, it goes now to $40.89. So we just increased our dividend income for Hormel Foods by about $5 just based off that last investment. So the other company that we had purchased here was Colgate, I believe. So COOCL, ticker symbol CL. So right here, I am currently showing 21.04 shares. I own 24.21. I always like to round up right there. 21, what was it? 24.21. 24.21, I believe. Having some brain farts here. Yeah, 24.21. And then our cost per share, which is our unit cost, our cost basis. Average price, $79. So we decreased our cost basis there from $79.71 to a flat $79. Now, our current annual income for Colgate is $37.87, but when we click the update, it went from 37 and some change to now 43. So we also increased that dividend by about $6. So overall, just by investing last week, again, we invested $470. We increased our annual income by about $10, $11 there, just within that last buy. And we're going to continue to do this on a week-by-week basis. Here we're going to be investing $225.95. And I don't have anywhere to place the capital at the moment. I'm still doing my research on as far as what companies I want to be buying at this time. Really, I think a lot of the companies are a bit high flying at the moment, so I'm not going to be making any buys at this moment. But if you guys have any suggestions, let me know what stocks you're currently buying down in the comment section below or here in the chat if you guys are interested in chatting. But that is the update as far as the 1 week performance goes. I kind of discussed my call options on Merrill really quickly. So the market itself has been moving higher, and I had set some call options, which essentially they were for 447. So during this dip here recently, I kind of looked at the high here of 453, and the market may have moved higher. So I think at some point down in this range right around here, I had sold some call options to sell out of my SPY at 447. So, hey, Victor, welcome to the stream. Good evening, Brent. First time tuning in. Hope all is well. Yes, everything has been doing great. Starting up a couple different projects. So I really haven't been pushing out as much content here on the channel as I'd like, but I've been kind of working on another channel, kind of building that up and building kind of like another little project up. But Everything's been great. Thanks for asking. And S&P 500 here, I actually had sold out of it at 447. So when I'm kind of looking at this, that would have been great performance over the past, looks like I sold out of it on a Friday. It was a Friday that I had my calls assigned out. So here, Friday, October 22nd, I had set some call options. I want to stay logged in on SPY. I still own, very little, just essentially 6 shares of SPY. But I used to own 300 shares of SPY, and I look at that right now. I'm like, man, if I had just kept my 300 shares of SPY, but the market in itself hasn't really gone higher. It's been ticking higher day by day, and that's one of the things that I'm seeing right now. I'm feeling kind of FOMO-ish. It's like, man, I really want to just get my money back invested, but at the same time, I feel that where we are at in the market, I'm happy keeping capital on the side for the next time that the market pulls back. When the market does pull back, say it comes back to about 450, maybe retest those 430s, 440s, I'd always like to say I'm going to stay 100% invested, but what happened there is I set my call option too low and it got assigned out. So I'm not happy about that, but I'm also kind of just waiting, if you can see. And then I did sell a couple calls on Tattooed Chef, one with a strike price of $20. That made me $110. And the strike price here on Tattooed Chef, current price is at $18.23. So it has quite a bit to go up to $20. That expires on the 19th of November. So that's still about 2 weeks away. So I'm not worried at the moment. And then I sold some calls on First Horizon Corp. This was very little, $7.50 is how much I made as far as selling the option there. And it's currently up $72. This isn't a position I wanted to buy for the long term. So I may just close this position early, just kind of sell, buy back that call. I won't make the total amount there that I sold, but I can make some amount of cash on buying back that option, and then I'll just move out of that position and just kind of keep that cash on the side. I'm still undecided as far as where I want to be positioning my capital at the moment. If I buy directly into the S&P 500, I feel like the upside potential for it in the short term is very limited, versus, again, if I'm targeting individual companies such as Facebook, where I can just, put in just a little bit into Facebook, put a little bit into a few other positions, I feel like the upside potential in them is much higher. So Facebook here year to date, I guess it's up 22.95%. I'd have to take a look. So this is just one of those areas right now, as we're ending the end of 2021, I'm just kind of waiting and checking out where I need to reposition my capital going into 2022. So I don't know if anybody else can relate that way, if they're finding deals out there where they're happy throwing money at the moment. But at the moment, I am not finding anything opportunity wise. A couple of years ago, you could just buy into anything because it felt like it was not overpriced, but not underpriced at all, and it was kind of in the middle. So right now, we're hitting these all-time highs. We're breaking new all-time highs every day. It's a little bit more harder to just dump capital into the S&P 500. So I think that is all as far as that goes. And if there's any other questions, I'll go ahead and let the chat there. So you guys can say hello. But again, thanks, Victor, for tuning in and saying hello there in chat. Really appreciate it. And I think if that is it, then I'm going to be jetted out. Of course, if you guys are brand new here to the channel, definitely go down below, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. If you guys have any comments or questions at any time in the repeat, go ahead and drop me a comment down in the description below or in the comment section below, and I will read it and reply. Maybe make a video topic on it. As far as other projects I'm currently working on, I have been building up a second channel. This is not financial related. It is gaming and streaming style related. So I've been playing with my son We've been creating content on playing games, how to play Minecraft. That's a game that we started playing together, and creating tutorials around different aspects of the game while also streaming and other little fun things along those lines. So just kind of working different projects and creating different content around there. So do something that you find entertaining and fun, and that's something, there along those lines. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all for tuning in to the live as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.